Lisa was like, I can't see you as a psycho, rageful mother, like, not possible. I was like, that's the point. Like, it was definitely a shadow for me. I'm so on the surface such a gentle, nice, loving
She
person.
is. You know, her Kaya's version of I'm really pissed off is feeling really grumpy at you. Like,
But when, especially with my son, like, we have a wonderfully amazing relationship where we can really trigger each other. And there has definitely been times when I have completely lost it at my son and I kind of turn into a whole other person. Like, I'm just, I'm a whole other screaming, raging maniac. And, and I so made that so wrong, to the point where I would, like, the next morning I'd have this like shame hangover and I couldn't even remember all of what happened because it would all just be a bit of a blur.
I've cried. Like,
Yeah.
a shadow of mine has come up and it's gone wow all over the place, and I've been so heartbroken at what I've done.
Yeah.
I've just fallen on the bed and cried. I bet we can all relate.
Oh yes, yes, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
And the more I just made myself so wrong for that and judged myself like, you should know better, you do know better, how could you lose it like that again? The more it just kept happening.
Remember a couple of years ago, to relate, do you remember when we did a lot of shadow work, that weird dynamic we had where we were like, oh my God, how can we be in integrity? We're teaching conflict resolution,
Yeah.
blah, 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 like, you know, like that we were teaching it and we couldn't live it. And yeah, it comes up, trust me.
It comes up in so many different ways.
Yeah.
But the more I was like wanting to understand and love that part of me and also feel okay with like just acknowledging to myself, and from a place of knowing that all those ways of being that I see out in the world and that I see in myself are in me and are also in everybody else. And the more we deny them, the more they come up in backhanded ways. So I came to a commitment to, like, I'm going to own all of me. It doesn't mean I make it like right or wrong or anything. It's just I'm going to be really honest and real about how I show up and about all of me. And then after that, I'm going to really try to understand all of me and really connect with all of me and love myself in all of me. And then it kind of slowly unfolded, but I discovered that I had, in denying and in making my anger and my rage so wrong, and therefore it only coming up in the occasions when I was so triggered, but coming up in really explosive ways, I was also denying a certain power and a certain congruency, like a certain power that had my words really mean something with my children, and also a sense of responsibility. Like, I wasn't really modeling powerful, like empowered responsibility for my own feelings and needs, and I wasn't teaching that to my child. And I also wasn't really claiming like self-care and self-love and honoring my own needs. Like, all those things were connected to the rage and the anger, and pushing them away was also pushing all those other things away. And when I welcomed the rage and anger in, like, it is a part of me and I love myself in it, then I could actually have more access to all those gifts. The gift of self-care, congruency, responsibility, and power. And they became more of who I was as a mother and more of how I showed up as a mother, and like modeled all that to my children. And I became a more well-rounded mother in that, through embracing my rage and anger.
And not just mother.
Yeah.
Woman.
Oh yes.
Remember, where you grow as a mother, and boy don't we grow, you grow in all areas of your life. It's one of the hugest gifts that being a mother provides us. Our growth is not contained to just the role of mother.
Totally. And a whole other part of it that I forgot to mention just then is around projection. When I deny my anger and rage, I'm actually also suppressing it to the point where not only does it explode up in myself sometimes, but my children are taking that denied anger and rage on. So then my son would do the same. He would be like, in some instances people would say that he is quite soft and gentle, but he exploded like me and would mirror that. And the more that I can have a healthy relationship with that part of me, the more that he can as well.
Absolutely. Our children are very sensitive to our energetic states all the time. And they are always holding mirrors for us around our own growth, for better or for worse, in so many ways, on so many levels. But one of those levels is they will show you your suppressed shadows. They will bring them forwards, not just like through you exploding, although they could keep triggering you too, because they do that, but they can actually own the shadow for you and really bring it up to the surface.
I remember you talked about that, the crying with Maddie, about how you were so making crying wrong.
Yeah, I did. I had this thing where I would make crying really wrong, because I'm one of those really sensitive people that cries at everything. I can't watch news or TV commercials or everything makes me cry. And I was like, I'm going to cry, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry. And I would shove that down and I wouldn't own that. That was so not okay to do. And my daughter totally adopted it. And we never even had a conversation about it, not once. And then she started going, I can't cry. Weak to cry, can't cry. I was like, oh! So they absolutely will like take on and show you all those things you're suppressing on all sorts of different levels, so many levels.